Hello, friends. In this lesson, we're going to look at different aspects of globalization. You know that globalization is the process by which the world is becoming increasingly interconnected. In this lesson, we'll look at the definition of globalization and try to classify it into its main components. To make it simple, we can divide it into three major dimensions: economic, political, and socio-cultural. But please keep in mind that these are highly interconnected and influence one another. First, let's start with globalization and its definition. Globalization refers to the increasing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations, driven by rapid transportation and communication technologies. It describes how goods, services, capital, people, and information flow across national borders more easily than ever before. And while the term globalization seems to suggest a worldwide process, it doesn't necessarily mean that every country or region is affected in the same way. In fact, some places experience greater levels of globalization than others due to various factors like geographic location, economic strength, and political alliances. For example, countries with strategic locations such as Singapore and Hong Kong tend to be more globally connected due to their role as important trading hubs. Now let's look at the three main aspects of globalization. First, economic globalization. Economic globalization refers to the integration of national economies into a global economy through the exchange of goods, services, capital, and labor across international borders. It's characterized by the increasing interdependence of countries and their financial markets, as well as the growing importance of multinational corporations and global financial institutions. One of the key features of economic globalization is the growth of multinational corporations, which are businesses that operate and have facilities in multiple countries. These corporations play a significant role in the global economy as they source materials, manufacture products, and sell them in markets all around the world. The rise of multinational corporations has been facilitated by several factors, including advances in technology, which have made it easier and cheaper to transport goods and information across borders. In addition, reductions in trade barriers such as tariffs and quotas have also contributed to the growth of multinational corporations. Some of the most well-known examples of multinational corporations include Apple, Samsung, and Toyota. Another aspect of economic globalization is the increasing importance of global financial institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. These institutions play a critical role in the global economy by providing loans, grants, and other forms of financial assistance to countries in need. They also work to promote economic stability and growth by setting standards for economic and financial policies. Despite the many benefits of economic globalization, there are also concerns about its impact on developing countries. Critics argue that globalization can lead to the exploitation of workers in developing countries where labor laws are less stringent and environmental regulations are weaker. Additionally, the increased competition from multinational corporations can put a strain on local businesses, leading to job losses and a decline in local industries. Second, political globalization. Political globalization refers to the increasing interconnectedness of political systems and actors across national borders. It's characterized by the growth of international organizations, the spread of democratic values, and the increasing importance of global governance. As states become more integrated into the global economy, they also become more interdependent in the political sphere. This interdependence leads to the creation of international organizations such as the United Nations and the European Union, which aim to facilitate cooperation and coordination among states. Political globalization also involves the spread of democratic values and institutions from one country to another. As more countries adopt democratic practices, it creates a network of democracies that share common values and goals, which in turn promotes peace and stability. However, despite the progress that has been made towards political globalization, there are still significant challenges that remain. One major obstacle is the persistence of authoritarian regimes in many parts of the world. These regimes often suppress human rights and do not share the same commitment to democracy and rule of law as other countries. Additionally, there are concerns about the legitimacy and effectiveness of international organizations in addressing global political issues. Some argue that these organizations are dominated by powerful states and that they lack the authority to enforce their decisions on sovereign nations. Finally, socio-cultural globalization. Socio-cultural globalization refers to the exchange of cultural values, ideas, and symbols across national borders. It's characterized by the spread of global culture, the growth of transnational communities, and the increasing diversity of cultures within societies. One of the key drivers of socio-cultural globalization is the exchange of ideas and information across borders. This exchange is facilitated by the Internet and social media, which allow people from different cultures to interact and share their experiences. As a result, there's been a growing sense of global community and interconnectedness among people around the world. Another aspect of socio-cultural globalization is the spread of global culture, which refers to the homogenization of cultures around the world. This means that people in different countries are increasingly exposed to the same music, movies, food, and other cultural products. Supporters of socio-cultural globalization argue that this homogenization leads to a greater understanding and appreciation of other cultures. However, critics argue that it can lead to the loss of unique cultural traditions and values. Despite the challenges, socio-cultural globalization has had a profound impact on the world. It has led to a more interconnected and diverse world, but it also poses challenges to traditional ways of life and cultural identity. As our world continues to globalize, it will be important to find ways to balance the benefits of cultural exchange with the need to preserve cultural diversity. We can see that economic, political, and socio-cultural globalization are highly interconnected and influence each other in complex ways. While globalization has brought many benefits to the world, such as increased economic growth and cultural exchange, it also poses challenges such as inequality and the loss of cultural identity. It's important to be aware of both the positive and negative aspects of globalization and to work towards making it more inclusive and sustainable for all. To sum up, we can say that globalization is a multifaceted phenomenon that affects every aspect of our lives, from the goods we consume to the political systems we live under and the cultural values we hold dear. It's a complex and controversial topic that requires careful consideration and thoughtful dialogue. As we continue to navigate the challenges and opportunities of an increasingly globalized world, it's important to remember that we're all interconnected and that our actions affect people far beyond our own borders. By understanding the different aspects of globalization and working together to address its challenges, we can create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. That's all for this lesson. Please leave your thoughts and comments below. See you next time. Thank you.